Hello happy YouTubers, welcome back. Marcelina here with you. In today's video I'm going to show you guys how I grew tons of bell peppers from store-bought. Also I'm going to talk about blossom end rot in bell peppers, what causes and how to fix it. So don't go away, be right back. This is how I grow tons of bell peppers in my garden from store-bought. Look at this pepper, guys. Oh my gosh, it's huge. Anyhow, I live in subtropical region. We are now August 30th, so it is too late for me to grow peppers. But for those of you who live in areas where you don't have winter time, so this video benefits you. So go ahead, go to your market and get one fruit of pepper and germinate the seeds. So when I take the seeds of my pepper, the easiest, instead of cutting half, so what I do, I cut a ring around the base of the pepper, and it's much easier. And besides that, I will use this one as my stuffed peppers. So you have to put meat inside, and I don't want to break in half. So I just cut like that, a ring, and pull it. You can grow the seeds from the yellow peppers and red peppers, but not the green. The green doesn't work. So you see, it's easy, and there's still a little bit, not a little bit, a lot in here. So I'm going to scrape this. Growing peppers is awesome and fun experience. So I use the fork to just take out and then shake it. Look at that. Look at this one. So I probably save the seeds for the next summer. Do you guys preserve the pepper? How do you preserve pepper? Okay. It's cool. You can put the meat, ground beef in here. So I want to keep this one here because I want it to dry out for the next summer. But there is seeds here. This is the one that I'm going to show you. Now the freshness, the seeds, the best result for germination. Because if it is too long, if the seeds are old, you don't have good germination, and most seeds don't grow. So it's better to grow the seeds that comes from the fresh fruit. So what I do is dry the seeds in the paper towel just to take out that coating substance, because that would interfere the germination. So you want that slippery to remove out. Okay, now it's dry. Look at that, it's dry. Look at how dry it's getting. So this will germinate faster. Okay, so let's prepare our tray. Okay, so I have this tray prepared to save time. Now I use microgreens, but you can use any kind of starting mix. Oh, you keep falling down. Look at you. Look at this pepper. Look at that. It's weird. Look at that. It's weird. Okay, so what you will need, you need to sow the seeds just like that. It just, so I'm not going to show the whole entire because it's too long. I'm just showing you guys. So when you sow the seed, you have to sow the seed in a quarter of an inch, because peppers germinate well if you don't bear down deep. So you just a quarter of an inch deep. Okay, just like that, and then cover it. So let's pretend that we already germinated the whole entire area. So I use this because it's nice. Now, what I did in my germination, I applied peroxide, hydrogen peroxide, but you can also use neem powder. You can use hydrogen peroxide. The neem powder, it eliminates the fungus from getting into your germination, and it's also preventing that dumping off. Now, the difference between, I noticed the difference between the use of neem powder as opposed to using this peroxide. The other benefits of neem is just to prevent fungus and also to give nutrients to the plant. And in this hydrogen peroxide, it eliminates the fungus or any pest coming in contact with your seeds, and also it gives oxygen. So it is great because it gives extra oxygen to the seeds, and then when it gets starting to develop, then they have that extra oxygen. So that is the good thing. So I just use 1 tablespoon, and then I mix it in my pitcher. So this is a gallon water, and just mix like that. That's how easy it is. Then now, instead of pouring on the top, I add the water below. So this is going to draw water from below to the top. Easy breezy. Then after that, after you grow your seeds, you will cover with a dome, and I love this dome. I have a video on this on a mini greenhouse. I use a lot of dome in my greenhouse because this is awesome for germinating seeds or propagating cuttings. So that's it. That's how you grow seeds. All right, let's talk about blossom end rot in bell peppers, what causes, and how to fix it. I'm not going into in depth on this topic because it will take longer for the video. Blossom end rot is mostly common problem in tomatoes, but it also can affect in bell peppers. The cause of blossom end rot is calcium deficiency. Now, before we do anything, try to fix the problem of blossom end rot in bell peppers, it is important that we know calcium physiology. We will need to understand calcium's uptake from the soil, its distribution and function in the plant. Calcium deficiency in the fruits comes or results from two kinds of problems in calcium transport to the plant. The first is there is not enough calcium in the soil. Second, calcium being transported or delivered to a fast-growing organs like leaves or fruits, for instance, is not enough or inadequate amount. Calcium is very important. It's a building block in tissue walls. It is needed in the plant to support the growth and development of fruits and leaves. And if there is not enough calcium to be delivered to the fast-growing tissues, peppers will predispose to blossom end rot. Now, there are other factors that could cause the blossom end rot, and I'm going to share this later on this video. So how do you fix blossom end rot? Coming up next. So I'm going to add another compost, guys, just to cover the base of the plant to keep the moisture. So to prevent the blossom end rot, once blossom end rot is there, you cannot fix it. You just have to remove all those fruit that is infected, but you can control the blossom end rot. Now, there are two ways that you can control blossom end rot in your bell peppers. The first one is manage your nitrogen, and then the second one is manage your irrigation. So two of these factors will help you control that blossom end rot. Because calcium moves in water, and it is necessary to add compost to your bell pepper. So that's why I'm adding compost in here, because it was too dry. And I have the reason why I did this video, guys, because I experienced blossom end rot of this bell pepper when I saw it a month ago. The fruits were, you know, falling down, and I couldn't get even a single fruit. So I did something to it that reversed the chemical reaction in the soil, and I will show you later. So right now, look at that, finally develop into a real fruit. So otherwise, if I did not control that blossom end rot, I would not be able to harvest this fruit. So you need to amend the soil. Now limit your nitrogen, because nitrogen increases new shoots, and then if it is too much nitrogen, instead of having the calcium going to the fruit, it goes to the fast developing leaves, because there is a competition of the distribution of calcium. So if both of them are growing at the same time, like leaves and fruits, so they have a huge distributions. It affects the distribution of calcium. Now these leaves here, if it's getting bigger because it's too much nitrogen, then calcium will be drawing to the leaves instead of drawing to the fruit. So that is one thing that you can control nitrogen, control blossom end rot, is manage your nitrogen. The other one also, that excess fertilization could also build up too much salt in the soil, and if it is too much salt in the soil, it's also affecting the fruit, the root to absorb water, because it limits that calcium intake when there is a lot of calcium. So you have to know anything in the soil, and also calcium transport and distribution. So I'm going to finish this, especially during hot season, guys. If it is hot summer days, it dries out this soil, and then calcium moves in water and distribute to the tissue. And if there is not enough water, the calcium can't reach to the developing organs. Now calcium moves mostly in transpiration rate. So in order for have that transpiration, it transpire in the leaves, and then that transpiration go down to the fruit. So you need to make sure that you have a proper irrigation. So it seems like the paper is doing okay right now, since I did a lot of covering. So I put a lot of compost. Compost not only giving extra nutrients to the soil, it also protects the plants from dehydration, because it keeps that moisture. And especially root is the most important part in the plant, and the root is going to absorb that nutrients and water and deliver that to the tissue. So if there is not enough water, then your plants will predispose into bare. So you have to keep it moist, and probably that was the problem why my paper was affecting with blossom end rot, because it was too hot for a month, and then we did not have rain. And here in this area, I don't have irrigation in this area, and I have irrigation in the other side, but this one is too far. So I would probably place an irrigation this next summer. So I keep watering it until I saw the problem. So I keep watering, and finally blossom end rot stopped. But there is one plant that's still suffering, and I will show it to you, but at least it's doing okay, and the leaves are devoured by some of the insects. Look at that. So this is the sign of blossom end rot, guys. As you can see, in the first stage you will notice this light green, and it has this little like sunken spot, and it looks like blister. So once it breaks down, once it gets bigger, it breaks down, and it causes like what you see here. Now this is now turning black because of the colonization of fungus in that area, and that is the result of the fungal infection. So this probably, you cannot stop once it's in there. You just have to remove this because this would collapse. So, and I will remove that later on. So that's it, guys. So that's how you control your blossom end rot. Manage your nitrogen and also manage your irrigation. And so far I corrected my papers, and I thought I would not be able to harvest my papers because of blossom end rot. And since I did the covering, I added compost to the soil. And this area here, it's been 2 years now that I did not use this area, and I just used it this year. So probably the soil is compacted, it's not aerated properly, because if it is amended properly, so probably this paper is doing okay. If you have anything, information to this topic, guys, that you can add, you can write that comments below. And before I forget, I have good news for you guys. I finally, oh my gosh, I'm happy. I finally have my merchandise running and up and running. And we have a cool t-shirts. In fact, I'm wearing my t-shirt right now. So we have a cool t-shirts. We have a coffee cups and handbags. So if you guys are looking for t-shirts or coffee cups or handbags, check the description below. It's a cool t-shirt. And also for those of you who collect Hoyas, I have t-shirts for Hoyas. Now, and another thing that I would ask of you guys, if you want to help this channel, support this channel to continuously producing good videos, you can support in few ways. You can subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. You can like the videos, and you can share the information to the people you know, or you can purchase the products, and all of that are appreciated. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you for watching. This is Marcelina at cashewgreens.com. See you next time. A peace.